If your AI strategy is using Chat, Claude, Gemini, Perplexity, and the other hundreds that are out there every time someone mentions a new tool online, guess what? That's not an AI strategy, people. You now have created what I call digital clutter. And when you see those posts on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, all over the place saying, hey, subscribe below and I'm going to give you 100 commands to use for AI. People, that's way too many. You are already overloaded with information. What you need is not 100 prompts. You need 5 to 10 that you would actually use in your business without confusing yourself or giving yourself undue stress because you're trying to do everything that the last person just showed you online. Yes, I know you're nodding your head because you've done that. So we're going to talk about that in this episode of Stop Chasing, Start Attracting. This is a show where realtors come and I teach you how to get discovered, stand out in the market, and build a business that actually attracts clients instead of consistently chasing them. My name's Robyn Cavallaro, and I built my real estate business starting over at the age of 56. And I share the practical strategies, tips, tricks, hacks, whatever you want to call them, that have propelled me to the top of my market. And I will endeavor to help you get there too. So here's what I recommend. Instead of trying every AI platform out there, now with the caveat, because I'm in the experimental phase, but I'm an advanced user, I use everything. And I'll talk about that in the moment. But what I want to stress to you right now is, so you don't stress, choose one AI tool and start there. My opinion, I would start with ChatGPT because I believe you can get a lot further with the free version because they all have tokens and then they'll expire. They'll say, okay, you've reached your limit for the day, the hour, the week, whatever it is. Chat's a little bit more liberal. So I would start with Chat to do research, whatever it is you want to create. A summary for your listing. You want to create content. Ask it questions. You want to write a book. You want to look at the market. You want to find articles for you to create content in. I would start with ChatGPT. Use it for a little bit. See how you feel with it. And then go to the paid version. I think I pay about $20 a month for Chat. There's also Gemini, which you can get free if you have Gmail Workspace, which I do have. But most of the versions are all going to have a free version and a paid version. The paid version is going to be much more beneficial for your business. But in the beginning, you've heard me talk about this. I started out, I had no money. So everything I started out with was free. And I still go by that mantra. I don't pay for it until I try it. And I'm going to talk with you about another program that I was trying that I ended up giving up on because I couldn't get the problem solved. But I want you to take one real problem and solve it with the first AI platform you use. Now, I create amazing things in ChatGPT. So just because I use all 4 or 5, 6, whatever platforms doesn't mean you need to do that. ChatGPT helps me research, create images like my social media posts, a couple of things. I'm doing a training called the Agent Authority Lab. And I'll talk about that in a minute because you might want to get in on that. The doors are opening up in September. But that training program is a 6-week live Zoom class. ChatGPT and Claude helped me create that. But I did my Agent Authority Assessment, I call it. It's a 18 question quiz that rates realtors on their social presence. So you have to answer 18 questions, takes about 3 to 5 minutes. I'm going to put a link for that below because you might want to check that out. It'll weigh your strengths and weaknesses and where you need to improve. But I told ChatGPT what I wanted. The program, it actually it recommended the program for the quiz, which I had never heard of this program, Tally. It gave me, forget I just talked about Tally, advanced tactic, but it gave me the prompts, the commands to create the quiz. I'm not going to get into the details because it was complicated. But for beginning users, start with one platform. Ask it to create everything. And once you get a sample, like you can even go into ChatGPT and tell it your voice, tell it how you want things to say. Like give it the command that I wanted to use my brand logo, my brand colors, although it doesn't always happen. I have to re-add it. But my voice, how I sound, I'm, sweet, but a little sassy. I don't want dashes where commas should be. And I told it I don't want it to use that word, no fluff. I hear that now on videos and I know, not that it matters, but they're not even looking at the script. I realized this later. ChatGPT says that all the time, no fluff. So I don't want to hear no fluff. But when I started, I learned to use AI in my real estate business because I was doing things other than just real estate. I was obviously creating books and training programs and videos and answer emails. Oh my goodness. It makes me sound like a genius when it comes to answering an email. And I love it. If I'm pitching podcasts or pitching articles that I would like to get published, I start there creating everything, all my marketing materials. But learning to solve one real business problem at a time will be most effective for you and cause you the less stress, because you don't always need a complicated 2-page prompt to get a useful response. I begin telling AI these 4 things: who my market is, who I'm targeting for this particular piece, what I want them to create, what it's intended for, and how I want the finished result to look and sound. So here, for example, I will say, I'm a real estate agent in the Villages, Florida. I want to create a 90-second script for my market talking about moving here and the 3 top things that they're concerned about. And it'll create it. Sometimes I'll have to go in and edit it, but it'll do that. I've asked it to create images where when I'm doing posts now, it created the text, and I told to leave a spot blank because I put in Canva an iPhone, and I recorded a video. So now I have a post that goes on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, X, everywhere, that also has a video component into it. So I'm talking to them about it while they're looking at it. And I find that one incredibly useful and effective. And if you're not sure, ask it what it needs. So for example, when I wrote my book, I write books when I'm driving in the car. I'll open up chat and I come up with an idea and I tell it, hey, write this. I want this idea, flush that out. Give me the outline, write the chapters. But if you're having a problem, ask me 10 questions that will help you understand what I want and give me my answer. So it can be just as simple as that. But again, I want you to start out with one platform, know it, go to the free version, then go to the paid version, play with that, and then move on to the next one. So for an advanced tactic, I will tell you my training program. It's called the Agent Authority Lab. That is a 6-week Zoom training program where I actually in the room with you going over the curriculum. We have homework assignments. You will be basically graded and have the ability to answer questions on the topics from what I call my 6 pillars of authority. It helped me create the curriculum and the training decks and the workbooks. Now, when I say that, it's taken me about a month of going back and forth between ChatGPT, Claude, and then I'll throw it occasionally into Gemini and Grok just for their opinion. But that is absolutely an advanced tactic. I'm not telling you to do that. I'm telling you to start off small, but I'm showing you the power of what you have because each one thinks and talks differently and presents things differently. So I'll ask it, about the curriculum, blah, blah, blah. ChatGPT will create it. I copy it and I put it into Claude and let it give me its opinion. And then I'll edit that and I send it back through until I get it exactly the way I want it. I know your head's spinning, but again, I just said that's an advanced tactic. But use AI to your advantage because AI is not the enemy. AI is going to help you grow your business. And I also want to tell you, a couple things you need to remember. Take that agent authority assessment, the link's below. There will also a QR code at the end for you to learn more about the Agent Authority Lab. Next, you also can get a copy of my book, Don't Get Replaced, Get Reinvented, How Realtors Can Turn Experience, AI, and Visibility into Their Biggest Advantage. That is on Amazon. You can get it print, Kindle, and Audible. And also it's on Kindle Unlimited, so you can just read pages if you are on that program. So those links are in the description box below. Make sure you take that assessment. I think you're going to find it very informative. Stop collecting tools. Stop collecting prompts. Choose one problem. Learn one process. Keep using it until it becomes part of how you work. That's when AI stops being another distraction and becomes actual business advantage. My name is Robyn Cavallaro. This is Stop Chasing, Start Attracting. Thank you for joining me on this podcast today, and I will catch you next time.